Donald Trump still refusing to concede defeat. The question now is what happens next. For more, we're joined by Trump campaign advisor Jason Meister from New York. Good morning to you, Jason. Thank you for your time this morning. Really appreciate it. Will Donald Trump bring the House down?
Look, this was a massive and coordinated attempt to steal an election. We now have evidence that there is massive amounts of dead people voting in key battleground swing states. We have evidence of hundreds of thousands of ballots that were just checked off for Joe Biden, no other candidate on that ballot, highly irregular. We have evidence that were machine glitches, that they transferred 6,000 votes from Biden to Trump in Michigan. That same equipment, which is run by a company called Dominion, is used across all the battleground states. And frankly, look, the media doesn't get to decide who is president. That's going to be decided by the courts. And I think you're going to see a lot of evidence that's going to come out. I've seen it myself already over the next coming days and weeks, and we'll see what happens. But I think that all options are on the table, and the courts are going to make this decision because, again, the integrity of our elections is the bedrock of our democracy.
I get all that, but that's an awful lot of dead people voting.
It's not just dead people. I gave you about 3 or 4 other very important evidence. And look, I would be saying the same thing if this was Donald Trump's side that had cheated. This was a organized, calculated attempt to steal an election and take the hands out of the voters. And I promise you that the Supreme Court of the United States of America won't allow this to happen.
Okay,
because we can't have a democracy where this happens.
So it's going to be an interesting ruling from their perspective. From a legal point of view, there may be discrepancies. Worse, there may be rigging in some of the mail-ins. But it's almost impossible, isn't it, for you to get the numbers you're looking for? You lost.
No. So if you look at the margins, okay, there's very small, thin margins in many of these battleground states. In fact, I believe we already have enough evidence to swing Pennsylvania. There's no question that the day of voting, the in-person voting, not the mail-in voting because of COVID, but the in-person voting was a red wave. That we know. And so I think that, yes, this is very much in play for Donald Trump. And I think in the end, I actually think he succeeds and he will be reelected as the 46th president of the United States.
Okay, if the courts decide that there was no wrongdoing, or certainly not enough to sway the election, will Donald Trump concede?
I believe he will. If he wins fairly and every count, every ballot, every legal ballot is counted and every illegal ballot is discounted, the president will do what's right for this country. But we need to get there first. We need to see the ballots. We need to make sure that this was fair. And from what I see so far, it was completely unfair and it was a stolen election.
Because I don't think anyone believes Donald Trump will go quietly, no matter what the result.
Well, he will if he loses fairly. Again, we have to count every single legal ballot and discount every single illegal ballot. And by the way, frankly, I think the Democrats and Joe Biden would want this as well, because 71 million Americans right now think he's a delegitimate president-elect that the media has basically coronated and crowned.
If this is overturned, all hell will break loose in America.
Well, look, we don't make decisions in this democracy, in this republic, based on the fact that people are going to get upset. We make them based on fairness and based on a democracy. Again, there's the rule of law. You can't have illegal ballots, illegals voting, dead people voting in swing states. We need to have a fair election. That's the bedrock.
Hey, Jason,
democracy.
I have a feeling this is not the last time we're going to be talking. We look forward to talking to you again very soon, mate. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having me.
it, my man.